Each year, the American Psychological Association does a survey of a representative sample of Americans to figure out what stresses them out the most. And this year, the results are a little different from the previous one. So I wanted to share the results with you. They found that most Americans are stressed out about America. Okay, the state of politics and everything that entails. More than half of Americans say that the present day is the worst period of American history that they can remember. And keep in mind, they're talking to a representative sample of Americans. They're not just talking to millennials. So they're having conversations with people, or surveying people, I should say, that lived through World War II. And they think that the modern day, today, is worse than it was back then.
And Vietnam and 9/11 and all those moments.
Wow, okay.
Well, there's a lot of different reasons for that, which we'll get into in a second.
So 63% of the respondents said that the future of the nation is a very or somewhat significant source of their stress. Here is, if you break down what they mean by that, here's what you'll find. 43% are worried about healthcare, 35% are worried about the economy, 30% are concerned with trust in government, crimes, and terrorist attacks.
So a lot of interesting numbers here. 62% are concerned about money, very, very normal. 61% concerned about work, incredibly normal, right? But concern about the government and the future of the nation is actually higher than they're concerned about money or their jobs. That's amazing. I've never seen that before. And so part of it is because they realize, oh, right, what government does affects me. I don't have health care. I'm worried that somebody in my family is gonna die, or it's incredibly expensive and it's killing us, the payments, etc. But to me, the other amazing number was not just specific things like I'm worried about the government because I might not have health care and I might die. That's very specific and very understandable, right? The state of the economy, I might not have a job. But 30% said that they were actually concerned, as you saw in that chart, about trust in government. So this is the thing that pundits on TV said that nobody cares about, right? Like, oh, no, nobody, like, oh, campaign finance reform, corruption, these are minor issues. No, they're not minor issues. People all across the country are getting it. We did a poll in California, and number one issue was money in politics. Because people now understand the government's been captured by the donors. And as long as the government and the politicians are working for those tiny group of really, really rich people, we're never gonna get anything. We're never gonna get decent health care. We're not gonna get Medicare for all. We're not gonna get decent wages. And we're slowly being crushed. And that has dawned upon people. That is why they're depressed about it.
Yeah, and people are laying awake at night worrying about these things. Now, if you look at demographics, the survey did find that women are suffering from higher stress levels than men. In 2017, women experienced a slight increase in their stress levels compared to 2016, and men actually experienced a slight drop.
That's another amazing part of the survey, because so Trump appeals to men more, but it's amazing how it works on a macro level. So a lot of guys, of course not all of them, of course these are all giant macro looks at the country, right? So, but a lot of guys voted for Trump, and when he won, they're like, oh, thank God we're back in church, right? And their stress levels actually went down. Now again, it's an overgeneralization, but it's in the numbers. I was really surprised, because I would have thought that the economic anxiety and all the different anxieties that they're seeing overall would have also affected men. But no, this year they're like, oh, things are a little better, at least some percentage of men.
Right, so I mean, I'm just guessing, this is speculation, because the women don't give a reason for why it is that their stress levels are higher than men. But my speculation is, think about the government programs that help single mothers, the equality issues that we were finally seeing some progress on that now, is becoming more of a regressive thing. I mean, we're seeing the country regress in certain ways when during the Obama administration, we did see progress. And I think looking back now, I feel like I kind of took that for granted, you know?
But a lot of conservative men didn't see that as progress. They kept saying, we want our country back, meaning we want it back for us. So, but again, don't read too much into our speculation on it, because they did not break down by gender why they're upset or less upset. They just broke it down overall and then explained that the genders do view it a little differently.
So, and then another piece of information or data that I thought was interesting, 45% of Americans said that they have lain awake at night in the past month due to stress, compared to 40% who reported doing so in 2016. So more Americans are stressed out, they're feeling more anxiety, and it's affecting them physically as well, because they're getting less sleep. And when you're stressed out, yes, it's an emotion, but it also has a physical reaction in the body. You release more cortisol, you're eating unhealthy foods, you're sleeping less. So this is gonna affect our health as well. And I know I can definitely sympathize with people who have lost sleep over these issues.
In some ways, I'm surprised that the anxiety is not greater. And God help us if there's any kind of economic crash, because this will shoot through the roof. Because look, minimum wage is $7.25. That's $15,000 a year. How do you not lay awake at night if you're making $15,000 a year? How do you live on that? And that is true for a ton of Americans. Oh wow, you got raised all the way up to $8.75. It's still not much. It's like $17,000 a year. You know, and so many Americans now have been crunched down to minimum wage. They used to have good jobs, they don't anymore. And then they need government assistance, and that hurts their sense of self-respect. And you know, conservatives think, they're all bums and they all want handouts. They don't want handouts. They make $7.25. They need it for their kids. They're not bums. A lot of these people are working poor and the middle class. It's hard not to get stressed out. So, I mean, I hope we don't have any kind of economic crash. If it does, these numbers are going to be astronomical. What you just watched was one of the videos that we do today, but we actually do a whole 2-hour show every single day. It's a podcast. You could watch it in video or listen to it as audio. You can download it, you can stream it, and you get it completely ad-free if you could become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.